Hey y'all, I hope you enjoyed your extra long weekend. Quick shout out to Kaylee. She sent me her writing blitz as always. So I wanted to give her a shout out and let her know that she's doing an awesome job. I also wanted to open up the opportunity for suggestions for writing blitz. That's how we usually do it in the classroom. So if you have something that you really want to write about, you can have your parents send that to me through either Class Dojo or text message, whichever works best, and I'll go ahead and incorporate that for these next few lessons that we have. I just wanted to welcome you all, and let's go ahead and hop into the lesson for this week. So this week we're going to be focusing on capitalizing names. Go ahead and repeat after me. I can capitalize names. Nice job. And if you can actually tell me which type of noun is the name of something, by Wednesday, you will get a shout out in the next video. So which type of noun refers to the name of something? Okay, so for this first sentence, while I read it, I want you to think about what you're noticing. It says, Mr. and Mrs. Watson have a pig named Mercy. I'm going to give you a few seconds to think. Okay, so the first thing that I'm noticing is that there's a lot of extra periods in this sentence. I see 2 extra periods. And the next thing I'm noticing is that the name Mercy has a capital letter in the front of it. So we know that the period right here is just letting us know that it's the end of the sentence. But what about these 2 periods up here? So the periods after Mr. and Mrs. help us abbreviate, and abbreviate just means to make shorter. So it's helping us make the title shorter. So instead of actually writing out the word Mr., we just put MR and then put the period to make it shorter. And the same for Mrs. The period is just to show that we made that word abbreviated or shorter. And we know the M in Mercy is capitalized because it is her name. Okay, so for these next 2 sentences, I want you to think about how these 2 are alike and how they're different. First one says, Mr. and Mrs. Watson have a pig named Mercy. The next one, Dr. Gonzalez has a cat named Aristotle. So I'm going to give you some seconds to think about how they are different. We're going to do different first. The first thing I'm noticing that's different is that the first sentence is talking about 2 people, so it's plural. And the second sentence is only talking about 1 person, so it's singular. The next thing I'm noticing is that the verb changed from have to has, and that actually changed because we use have when the sentence is plural and we use has when the sentence is singular. So if you caught on to that, nice job. And the last thing I'm noticing that's different is that the second sentence is talking about a doctor while the first sentence is not. Now we're going to hop into how the 2 sentences are actually the same, or what they have in common. So they're both talking about an animal. The first one is talking about a pig, and the second one is talking about a cat. The next thing that's similar is that the titles have been abbreviated or shortened. So we see that the word doctor is not fully spelled out and that it is abbreviated with a period. So if you caught on to that, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, so now we have 3 sentences to look at, and I'm going to read them one by one, and we're going to talk about them each separately. And when I read them, I want you to think about what changed and what was the effect of the change. So what changed and how did that make the sentence different? So I'm going to start off with the first one. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson have a pig named Mercy. I'm going to give you a few seconds to scan that sentence and tell me what changed. So the change that I see is that Watson is now starting with a lowercase w. And when we don't capitalize a name, it's not a name. And I want you all to remember that your name is very important because you are an important person. So we always have to capitalize names. Let's go ahead and hop into number 2. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson had a pig named Mercy. So I'm noticing that the verb have has been changed to had. This actually changes the whole sentence because it's telling us that the Watsons don't have the pig anymore. It's in the past and it's past tense. And the last sentence, Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson have a pig named Mercy. So I'm seeing that the lowercase y has been changed to a capital Y, and we only capitalize letters for a reason. So there's not really a reason why the Y at the end of the name Mercy is capitalized. We only capitalize the first letter, like right here, here, and here. Using capital letters in weird places that are unexpected, it makes the reader not know what to focus on or what to pay attention to, because now I'm trying to figure out why this Y is capital instead of thinking about the meaning of the whole sentence. So make sure we only capitalize the first letter in someone's name. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope that I have refreshed your memory. Don't forget, if you know which type of noun is the name of something, to send it to me by Wednesday so that you can get a shout out in the next video. Let me go to my favorite part of writing. Writing Blitz. So since we've been talking about names, I wanted to stay within the theme of names, and our writing prompt for this week is, if you could change your name, what would you change it to? Why? If you could change your name, what would you change it to and why? Alrighty, thank you, scholars.